What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy and you're watching 90 More, back again with breaking news for their ass. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new and drop the video a damn like if you breathe oxygen. But for now, let's talk about it, shall we? Bloody hell. I woke up this morning and all I wanted was effort. All I wanted was fight from these players, showing that they know what it means to play for this club, for the badge. The old one, not that new plastic shit. And they did. They fought for Arteta today and I'm proud of them. It was the best football that we've seen all season, really, wasn't it? For 82 minutes. And what do you know? One individual has to go and cock it up. Our player of the year, apparently. Our player of the year who's made more fucking errors that led to goals than anyone in the league this season. 7, to be exact. And I'm not having a go because, yeah, it's a rare blip. But it's not really that rare, is it, if it's the 7th one? But this is what happens when you're a fully fledged comedy club member. This is what happens when you're living off your history and yesteryear. And this is what happens when you're playing 17-year-old wingers at left back. 7 errors leading to goals this season, most in the Premier League. Player of the year, incredible. Yeah, he's out here doing his fucking best Deontay Wilder impression, punching thin air. I mean, you couldn't write it. And the pain in Arteta's face after all the work was done and you didn't have the fucking nous to close out a game for 8 minutes. I mean, 8 minutes. There's a lot of work to do, isn't there, really? So gutting when Callum Chambers went down. He's a player who's fought for his place. He's actually earned the right to start finally. He's been on loan, nearly got sold, and it was just soul destroying seeing him clutching his knee or whatever it was, because you knew Mustafi was coming on and obviously he had a part to play in the and so there it is. We say goodbye to 2019, probably, almost definitely, the worst year in my life of being an Arsenal fan. It's been one fucking shit show after another, hasn't it? One catastrophe after the next, where our names have been dragged through the mud. We've been kicked while we were down, spat at, laughed at, and just beaten out of contention. It's been painful, and today was no different, really, was it? We played so well for so long, in the first half especially. I mean, the second half was really a back to the wall job, shutting up shop and whatnot, but the first half was impressive. The tenacity was there. They were aggressive, hungry. They looked like they wanted it more than Chelsea, and the goal was fantastic. Great header from Aubameyang, and for a second you just started to think, wow, maybe they really are focused enough to get 3 points here. And what a 3 points that would have been. It really would have dragged us back into the conversation of at least fighting for a chance at top 4, when, as it stands, I think we're 12 points behind Chelsea, and that is done. We're done. I cannot see Arsenal making that up, and we're 8 points off the relegation zone, so we should probably be looking down instead of up. Truth of the matter is, this is a long-term plan, right? It's a project. It's not going to happen overnight, and Arteta can only have taken a few training sessions, so it's bound to be something that we see improve over time. But they were promising signs there. They look hungry again. A few of the players look happy, certainly fighting for the cause. And even though we look a little bit reckless in midfield, that is in part due to the fact that we've lost Xhaka. And I know that a lot of people don't like him, but he has been one of Arsenal's most consistent performers this season, especially in the last few games since his, furore with the fans and whatnot. He's come back and really tried to make an impact. And the fact that he has such good passing ability and can break between the lines with those cutting left foot angled curling passes is something that we will miss. And as much as Guendouzi is a live wire and he has good energy about him and the right mentality, he's not as tidy a player as we need in there just yet. And I think that really showed at times today. Some reckless fouls that were slightly unnecessary. I'm not going to single anyone out because, it's a makeshift team, isn't it? You've got Saka playing at left back. But we're definitely working towards something that is, being made more and more difficult by these injuries, with Callum Chambers going down when he's looked like one of our best centre-backs. I actually thought David Luiz was really good today. He was really good. He put in a top performance, and they will be gutted to have put that much into the game and got nothing out of it. But second half, you've got to give it to Lampard. Tactically, he made brave changes. Emerson coming off for Jorginho, switched up the shape, and they totally dominated the second half. There was only one team in it, and there was only ever going to be one team coming away with the win. And I say that, but Arsenal could have been that team. We had a chance to go 2-0 up. I mean, a couple of chances actually, but one in particular. 5 minutes for Pepe as well. It's very frustrating. You got to bear with me, lads. I'm not going to lie. I've checked out. I have checked out. So I'm not angry or anything. I think you'd be a fool to be angry. You've got to be patient now, and just hope that this is the one, or that Arteta can make this work. Because, you know, I don't even want to entertain the idea that he isn't. But in all honesty, there's questions again there, aren't there? I mean, what is Pepe doing? What is Pepe doing? What is he doing so wrong that means the £72 million record signing gets 5 minutes of football in a game that we really need to win? There were some pivotal moments in the game. I think Lampard proved himself to be the more proactive of the managers, making the changes with Emerson coming off and Jorginho coming on. The inconsistencies with the referees, I don't know what's going on out here, but to me, I think Jorginho shouldn't have even been on the pitch. He should have got a second yellow. Although I'm not going to stand here and moan about referees, because Guendouzi was just as bad. He's a fucking liability at times, and he needs to get his head sorted as to when is a good time to make a foul and not. It's a bit reckless, but yeah, for Chelsea it paid off. I was very impressed with the youngster that they brought on, Tariq Lamptey, I think his name is. He was quick, he was brave, fearless in fact, driving through the lines, setting up Tammy with a couple of chances. He looked good for the short amount of time that he was on, and he was part of the energy that really did change the game second half. Arsenal, I mean, they asked for it, didn't they? But promising signs in that we're still creating the odd opportunity, and if it weren't for what I would call lackadaisical or just half-hearted effort from Lacazette. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's not been the same player for a minute. And if he was more clinical or more hungry, then we probably could have got a lot more from the last 2 games. And that said, it's nice to see a few of them with a smile on their face, and hopefully they have started to believe that, you know, progression is possible under Arteta. You've got to say that they worked their socks off for at least an hour, but we've got to stay focused for a whole game. I love the fact that Ozil is back. He seems to be playing well. He's inventive, creative. We're controlling more of the game. We're more confident in possession. And he had a few moments where he looked like it was the Ozil of old, which was very promising. Aubameyang works his socks off as well, didn't he? He's playing at left back, helping out Saka throughout the game. But come away with nothing is a real kick in the teeth, isn't it? So that's 2019. I've got a clear vision of where I hope the club will be in 2020, and it's difficult not to see some kind of progress being made. We will definitely be able to judge how much the manager is being backed, because obviously the January transfer window opens in a couple of days, and with Granit Xhaka having all but sealed a move to Hertha Berlin, you would think that we've got some ins coming our way. It's difficult to not see progression, right? I don't see how we can get much worse, but then we are 150 to 1 to get relegated, so it might be worth a couple of quid on that. I would say it's going to be very clear very soon whether or not Arteta is being backed, because we've got the January transfer window. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new, and drop the video a damn like if you breathe oxygen. But for now, my name's been hughwizzy, and this has been another one.